Hey everybody, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy, and today we're going to do an unboxing video. Today we're going to unbox a toy from the Force Awakens. This is a First Order Snowtrooper. So let's take him over to the toy studio and tear this thing to shreds. Let's do it. Come on. Alright guys, here we are with a toy from the Force Awakens. This is a First Order Snowtrooper. And we are going to unbox this guy today. And before we get that far, I just want to spin the packaging around for you and take a look at him. And there you go. And so what you have on the back here is they had a promotional thing going with these figures where you needed to buy these 3 figures and you got 3 extra accessory pieces, and you would assemble them all together and you would make a big, what appears to be some sort of snowmobile or blaster cannon, something along that lines. And then also the accessory was something you could add onto your figure, and it looks like he's got some kind of arm accessory here, and we'll check that out when we get into it. And then you get a little description of the character, and I'll go ahead and read that to you guys. The latest generation of cold weather assault stormtroopers, snowtroopers, wear advanced insulated armor and helmets that reduce the glare of the icy terrain. And you can correct me in the comments about this, but if I remember correctly, these guys did not get a lot of screen time in the actual movie. There's a deleted scene on the DVD where you can actually see them walking around with Kylo Ren, and they actually go into the Millennium Falcon when it's parked on Starkiller Base with Kylo Ren. And I believe you may see them in the background in a couple shots of the film, but other than that, I do not believe they actually appear in The Force Awakens. But once again, you got to understand, when these figures are made, they send information to the toy manufacturers before the final cut of the movie is decided on, and sometimes toys get made and they don't make it into the final cut. And I think this would be an example of that. Alright. And he is out of the box. And here's what he looks like. Which I've always been a big fan of the Snowtrooper outfit. I've always thought they were very cool and original, no matter what trilogy you're talking about. And here we have the extra, come on out of there, accessory that he comes with. And there you can see them. They look like they're some sort of vibral blade. But we will, and there is 2 of them, 1 for each arm, and we will check those out a little bit more in a second here. Let's look at the figure. And here he is. Very cool. First Order Snowtrooper. And I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but a lot of the designs, oh cool, the backpack does come off, for these characters in the new trilogy, the sequel trilogy, they got inspiration for them. They're not exact copies, but they're pretty darn close. If you go look at some of the Ralph McQuarrie concept art, there's a couple books out there that feature his art, and he was one of the original concept artists for the original trilogy. And when he drew the Snowtroopers for The Empire Strikes Back, in the concept art, they looked almost identical to this. But when they actually got made for The Empire Strikes Back, of course, they look a little bit different. And so to pay tribute to him, because he's a very famous artist, and he contributed a lot to Star Wars, they made a lot of the costumes tributes to his work. So just a little fun fact there for you. Okay, and let's take a look at the blaster rifle in his hand. And of course it is removable. And I'll show that to you guys. So it comes out of his hand, and it looks like, I'm wondering if they have any kind of way to attach it to his backpack or anything like that. No, it doesn't appear to. But also, you can put it in either hand. Okay, and then the other thing I noticed right off the bat is it looks as though the backpack is removable. Kind of like a Snowtrooper from the original trilogy. Their backpacks are removable as well. And they look very similar to this, with the oval design on the sides. And it doesn't do anything or carry anything. It looks like it just pops out, and then you can see there's a little hole in his back. So we'll go ahead and put it back on, though. I think it looks cool. So let's run through his movements, though, real quick here. So you do have head movement, side to side, and a little bit of up and down. And then shoulder movement, only on the arms. No waist, and very cool, the hip movement, so he can sit down. And see, one thing I've noticed with these newer versions of the figures since the sequel trilogies come out is that a lot of figures, sometimes when they have robes like this, you'll see he's got this robe that comes down over the back of his legs. Sometimes that'll restrict the movement, but they found a way around that. You can see how they cut out through his legs and then cut the robe down the center. A lot of the Jedis have restricted movements, or a lot of the characters who wear robes or have capes. Sometimes the way the figure's designed, it restricts the movement, so they can't bend their legs all the way down. You can see they're starting to figure out ways around that, which I can appreciate. And then also, let's check out these extra accessories. So it appears though you snap these things onto his arms somehow. Okay. And it is like a giant blade or knife that is attached to his arm. Or if you're familiar with the Star Wars universe, they have weapons called vibral blades, and it looks like that's what this is an attempt at. Doesn't really say on the packaging what to call them. But there you go. Extra accessories for your Snowtrooper. Very cool. Alright. And I would say that is it for him. Alright, everybody. There he is from The Force Awakens. This is your first order Snowtrooper. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Bye.